Hi everyone, it is time for a new reading vlog, and today I'm doing another reading vlog for Blackathon, which is a readathon originally created by Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, and the co-hosts are Shane from Remarkably Blue, Fadwa from Word Wonders, Starla from Starla Enjoys, and yeah, I think those are all the YouTube hosts. So I filmed one reading vlog for Blackathon already, where I kind of explained the readathon, and I feel like you probably already know what's going on. It's a month-long readathon to celebrate Black History Month. We have like 6 days left in the month, and it depends on how quickly I read. I might like vlog for a little bit longer. We'll see, but there are so many books that I still want to share with you. Obviously, the rest of my TBR is just going to move forward, but I hope that you enjoy this vlog. And of course, like, all the hosts are of course linked down below, and you should absolutely subscribe to all of them. And yes, so let's talk about my potential TBR. The book that I actually think I haven't mentioned yet that I started that I am absolutely going to be reading is Sweet Hand by N.G. Pelletier. So I think I briefly might have mentioned that I had another physical book that I wasn't going to read in the previous vlog because I was saving it for a different themed reading vlog. But I picked this book up because Chi from, I forgot her channel name, but I'm going to link her channel down below as well. She's absolutely amazing, and I was watching like one of her reading sprint live shows, and she was reading Sweet Hand, and I was saying in the chat that I didn't know what book to pick, and I started this one a tiny bit, so I was like, you know what? I could just like keep reading that, and so I picked this book up and I got to page 56, and so it made me think like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna read it in this vlog, because I'm not sure, like, the other reading, like the themed vlog that this was gonna be for is one that I'm super excited for, but at the same time it's just like there were little, like, I really want to read all the books for that physically, and I just want more books for it, and I can't get them yet. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna postpone it and just read this now, because I also have an arc of the sequel, or like companion sequel, you know, like they follow different characters, but I want to read it in order anyways, because like I tried to do that when I actually owned the books, and so I obviously want to read this, and I do think it's coming out in quite a while. It's called Don't Go Breaking My Heart. I think it might be coming out in June or something, so like while I have time to like read this before and read that, I'm just super excited for it, and I think I'm gonna love it, and I just don't want to wait anymore. So this is, I can actually already kind of tell you a bit about this book, and I forgot in the other vlog that there was a prompt for the team romance, which I am like in. I forgot that there was a prompt to read a book that is like something like the duality of love and hate. I still need to read that because I don't think I have read any hate to love books this month, and I think it's gonna be super fun in here, and so that is what is finally happening. And I think besides that, I have done the prompts. I wasn't putting too much pressure on that because I just wanted to read exciting romances that I was looking forward to reading, and but I think I did do the other 2 prompts. So let's finally talk about what Sweet Hand is about. So it is an adult contemporary romance. There's a cat, and the heroine is a bakery owner, and the 2 main characters are basically rivals, and they have been rivals for a while, and now they basically are like the maid of honor and the best man at this wedding. And they have to spend a lot of time together because of that, and like, you know, work together in some ways, and that is just so fun. So it's a really fun hate to love dynamic so far, and I'm super excited to see how they're gonna get closer, because so far there's like none of that. And can we just take a moment to talk about this absolutely incredible cover? Like, Lenny Kaufman seriously does it like no one else, and I just fucking adore it. Like, all the details, the main characters, the cat, everything, it's perfection. So definitely gonna be reading this and finishing it soon. And so the only other like physical book that is not a romance that I have is Redemptor by Jordan Ifueko. So I mentioned this in the other vlog, and I haven't read it yet because if you know me, you know I struggle with fantasy a little bit. And while I think I'm gonna love this, it is still kind of intimidating for me. And I think that I might just see if I can listen to it on audio as well. But I think I want to try reading it physically, and if that's an issue and if I'm struggling, then I'm gonna pick up the audiobook. I'm super excited for this. And so, speaking of books that are not romances, the only other one I think that I'm gonna read is Serena Says, and that is a middle grade contemporary book. So it's not a romance. I think I forgot everything that it's about, but I started a tiny bit of it, and it's basically, you know, I think gonna be like focused a lot on friendships and stuff. So I started a tiny bit of this on audio, and I've just been wanting to get to it, and I haven't been in the right mood yet. I love middle grade books, and I'm not always in the right mood for them, but when I am, it's just like I love to read them. And the only other book that I'm going to mention for now, even though I have a million other books that I want to read, is Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins. I started this on audio as well, and I got to like 30%, I think. And I'm super excited because, like, Beverly Jenkins is an absolutely incredible historical romance author. And, like, if you're looking for books by a Black author with Black main characters and historical romances, if you haven't read books by Beverly Jenkins, you absolutely need to. Rebel, the first book in this series, is actually the first book that I read by her. And I've been wanting to read Wild Rain ever since even before it came out, and like it just needs to happen. So our heroine is basically a super like independent woman working at this ranch on her own. Basically, she's just like on her own, happy on her own, and doesn't really want to rely on anyone else, and like she just, you know, stays in her own bubble, and she doesn't want to fall in love. She like doesn't want to, you know, like, yes. And then the hero comes to the picture, and you know they have a connection, and he basically comes there to interview her brother, and he actually falls off a horse. And so she, you know, like helps him out and all of that. And so then, you know, they have a spark and a connection. But the hero is leaving soon, and the heroine doesn't want to get attached to him. You know, she is happy on her own. She doesn't want any of that. But yeah, obviously they're going to fall in love, and I'm just super excited. I think those are my main plans for now, and we'll see what I read next. I have so many books on my TBR that I'm so excited for, and I could talk for hours, but I need to shut the fuck up. But again, do make sure to check out the hosts. I hope you enjoy the vlog, and let's get into it.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
So it is time for an update. I have been super busy all day, but while I was on the subway, I started I Think I Might Love You by Christina C. Jones, and I immediately had to talk to you about it. Like, it is a novella, and when I read novellas, sometimes, especially if it's a vlog where I want to read a shit ton of books, I sometimes just do an update after finishing it, you know, so that I can like sum up my thoughts and not do two updates, so that I can just enjoy the reading process, fly through it, and then talk to you about it. But for this one, I just got so excited that I was like, I have to tell you about it. And I'm so happy because, like, I don't know, I feel like even though I read so much and I adore reading, I feel like it doesn't happen that often that a book immediately has my attention. Like, all of my attention, that it just excites me super a lot from page one. I feel like most books in general just like take a little while for it to fully feel super exciting and amazing, you know? And so it's just like wonderful. It's just such a gem when I find a book that feels like that, and this is one of them. And like I knew I would enjoy it, especially because I know that Mina from Mina Reads recommended this book quite a long time ago, I feel like. And like other books by Christina C. Jones as well. And I have read some of the other books that Mina recommended by Christina C. Jones, and some random ones that, like, I don't know if anyone recommended specifically, but just, you know, I really like Christina C. Jones. She is a Black indie author of so many Black love romances. Like, literally, I don't even know how many. Like, you can't see all of them when you click on her profile on Goodreads. Like, you have to click on the more books by the author thing. And a lot of them are on Kindle Unlimited. I do own I Think I Might Love You, but I think it's on Kindle Unlimited. I think like lots of them are. Most of them. Every time that I wanted one, it was on Kindle Unlimited. I actually saw this one on Scribd and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. But even though like I own the ebook, I just like audiobooks are easier for me, and so like if I have it, like I'm just gonna. But I don't know what like happened, but I just clicked on it on the subway, and I am absolutely flying through it tonight, like no question. So let's finally talk about what the book is about. So it is a novella, but like I honestly would absolutely love to see this as a full-length novel, but like we love a quick read. Um and like it's hilarious. It's hilarious and it's so fun. And like the beginning of this book is that I don't remember their names yet. Jacqueline and Caden. So Jacqueline comes to her sister's apartment and sees this naked guy on his own, and she's like, who the fuck is this? Who is this intruder in my apartment, in my sister's apartment? Like, what the hell is happening? And she like punches him, so she freaks the fuck out like entirely. And he's like, who the hell are you? Like, I am living in this apartment, what are you doing? Like, he's like, she is the criminal here, she literally punched me, what is she doing? And so let's just say they start off on the wrong foot, totally. And so like then she calls her sister and like she tells her like, this guy is subletting my apartment, like what the fuck did you do? And so he's like, get the hell out of my apartment. So she then finally leaves, and then of course she finds, I was like, I am literally just, it's so fun, like it's so fun, you can see it. Like, anyways, she finds a cat right outside of her apartment, and the cat is like screaming, like making sounds, and she's like, what is this cat doing? I just want peace and quiet. And so she then finally looks at her, she gives her some meat, the cat is like, no thank you. And so then she ends up taking her to a vet, and guess who is the vet that takes care of this random cat? So they have an interaction, and so it's definitely like hate to love, majorly annoyed by each other, but also majorly attracted to each other. And then it's just, I absolutely love Jacqueline as well. I love it so much. So, yeah. So, another thing that I wanted to quickly mention, kind of random, but like, you know, is I was just scrolling on Twitter, and it reminded me that I follow this account that I think a lot of you might want to check out, and it is called Girl Have You Read? They just keep on constantly posting new releases that are like books by black authors and like black love romances specifically. And it just like has so many romance releases, and it's literally like I'm looking at the account and like there's like every hour there's multiple posts and it's constant. You should definitely follow that account, so I'm gonna link it down below. And then the last thing that I want to mention is that I think after I Think I Might Love You, I want to pick up Sweet Hand. So I'm really excited for this. I haven't been reading any books physically because I'm a flop at that, but I know I'm gonna enjoy this a lot, and I think after I Think I Might Love You, I'm gonna pick this up, so I would love to read it tomorrow. So it is the weekend, it is Friday today, and so we have only three full days left of February. So I'm really sad about that. But I think what I'm going to do is I probably am going to vlog for a little longer, even though it might get really long. Hi everyone, it is time for an update. I did my hair and I hope it looks good. I never really do anything like this nowadays. Also did my makeup in this like blue color, and I really like it, but I can't wear glasses with it because then it looks like shit. So I have some updates and some really exciting ones. So I finished I Think I Might Love You, And I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It was just so good. And like it was just hilarious and so fun and just like so quick to read, such a good romance, like such good banter, jokes, it just had it all. Like it is actually a rom-com and one of the best ones. And like the only complaint I have is I wish it was longer. Like this would have been absolute perfection as like a full-length novel because it was just literally so good. Like I want it to be longer because yes, it is a novella and it's like 130 pages or something. So yeah, but it was just absolutely amazing. And I did check, and it is on Kindle Unlimited. And not every single book by Christina C. Jones is on Kindle Unlimited, but I think at least a half, but maybe more is. So definitely check that out. And like I think I mentioned, some audiobooks are also on Scribd. So absolutely recommend this book, and I recommend you to check out Christina C. Jones. And I now kind of want to read the entire series. There are 2 more books, and I think they're also both novellas, but I have started some other things, so I'm gonna like read some other things as well anyways. And so the other thing that I started is another recommendation by Mina. And I also know that Nick from Nick of the Books read this book and loved it. So like I don't, like obviously I was going to read it, and that is The Replacements by Shea Sanders. And this is an office romance with like a grumpy boss and his employee. So yes, that trope is in here. And Nick also actually made a post on books that have this trope. And yes, while it is, it can be questionable, like, obviously in real life, it's not an ideal situation, power imbalance, whatever, but Nick was saying how she absolutely, is a sucker for that trope, and it's so good, and I fucking adore it too. Like, office romance is one of my, honestly, like, when it comes to, like, a setting for a romance, it might be my absolute favorite. Like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the roommate trope might be on the same level. Either way, it's just one of the best tropes for me personally. I just have so much fun with it every time, and so I knew I had to read this, and it also made me want to just read a fuck ton of office romances and nothing else. So I do have another one that is by a Black author that is called Business Casual by Danielle Allen, another absolutely amazing indie author. And I think I am going to maybe read that as well this weekend. So Nick made me want to do like a dedicated office romance vlog, but I feel like I need to put that off for a tiny bit and do it a little later. But for now, we're going to be reading The Replacements, and maybe if I get to it, Business Casual. So I read like 20%. It's another book on Kindle Unlimited. I'm already having so much fun. So the plot is basically that the heroine in this book, her husband, they're married, right? Her husband, yes. Her husband cheated on her. And that was actually the case in I Think I Might Love You as well, but in that case it was a boyfriend. Anyways, so he cheated on her, and so she's like, she's trying to figure out like what to do. And so she starts off by like trying to get a job and using her husband to do so because he has some contacts. And so he finds this spot for her at this like different company, not the one that he works at. And it is the exact trope that you see often in office romances, that like he is like the kind of boss that is like extremely driven, a total workaholic, kind of an asshole, but like a really sexy, rich, whatever. And he basically is going to be turning 40 in like 6 months. And he was like, I was supposed to be a millionaire by that age. And so he's just like extremely, even more than normal. He's like, absolutely ruthless in his work. And he's like, I have to be a millionaire by that time. And so it's the kind of situation where he's like fired multiple assistants and whatever. If you don't like that kind of vibe and those tropes, it's obviously not for you. But if you do, I think this is gonna be so good. Like I'm already having fun. So I'm so happy. Some Pepsi here. So I'm gonna go drink that, watch some YouTube, and read. But I'm super excited. I'm having so much fun, and I'm just so ready to have a relaxing reading weekend. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog. So like obviously I'm not going anywhere, like we're in the middle of it, but yeah, I'll go and I'll talk to you soon.
Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now.
It's time for an update. It is the next day. Yesterday ended up kind of being rough. And I was just like dealing with some shit related to moving, and it got super stressful and anxiety inducing. And then after that, even once I was done, I just could not focus on reading or anything for that matter. So I didn't really read much yesterday, but today I have been reading since the morning, kind of. I also watched some YouTube. I have some exciting updates from today. I haven't finished Wild Rain yet. I do have like an hour left of listening, so I think I'm gonna do that a little later tonight. Or I might save it for tomorrow morning for when I'm like getting ready, you know, to listen to. I'll see. But first of all, I finished The Replacements. And oh my god, like I don't even know where to start because this book was so good. Like, you know, I adored it. Like, it was just so fun. It was so fun. It gave me all the giddy feelings that I Think I Might Love You did, and it was just like an injection of dopamine, and that is just something that I always love so much. And I almost got kind of emotional because, you know, like yesterday, I was having fun reading when I updated you, but then, you know, like the day kind of took a turn and I was just feeling like shit. And then today, it just brought back some of the joy again. And I just love books so much. And I'm just so grateful that I have access to them and that like I get to read so much and that there are so many books, so many wonderful books that exist and like all of that, and I'm just so grateful for that. And I was telling my mom earlier that like I was saying something that like books are the only emotional support that I can like take with me anywhere, and I think that is just something that I have known for a long time, that books help me almost more than anything, and they're like literally such a huge coping mechanism for me. But like I don't know, it's hitting me even more now thinking about it, you know, that like how much I love books and how much they help me and all of that. So I'm just really happy. And so The Replacements was just such a wonderful book. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I just fucking loved Savannah and Taurus. Like, the development was so good. It was just the kind of thing that, like, you get so desperate for them to be together and all of that, and I just love that feeling. And it was just super fun and steamy and so quick to read, and it's definitely my favorite book by Shea Sanders. I have read multiple at this point. I think most books by Shea Sanders are novellas. This one is like a short novel. It's like 220 pages, and it is definitely my favorite. Like, it just was exactly the office romance that I was looking for, and it really reminded me how much I love this genre, and it's seriously just so good. So if you like grumpy heroes, he's also a single dad, which I didn't know, and just like super fun, steamy, wonderful romances, you absolutely need to read this. And again, if you like office romance, again, it is on Kindle Unlimited, and it also has the trope of like Savannah takes care of Taurus when he gets sick, and I feel like it was so good that it was Taurus that Savannah was taking care of him, because like you know, since he's like grumpy and like stern, closed off, serious at first, and like, you know, like he just works hard and never takes time off, and then he gets sick, and she's like, you absolutely need to get home, you're not gonna come to work. And then she takes care of him. That was the best thing ever. And also Taurus's mom was there around that time, and I loved her as well. Like, that was an amazing little tiny thing, but I really enjoyed that as well. So I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much, and I'm so happy. The only, like, if there's one thing that I didn't love, it's only that, like, the ex-husband of Savannah was there a little too much, and he absolutely fucking sucked. He was just really toxic and really gross, and it's not like he was there a lot, but there were a few points when that was a thing. And I understand that, like, it definitely made sense for the story. And I think at first I was worried that there'd be like a lot of miscommunication between Savannah and Taurus because of that. But I feel like Taurus handled it so well, and there were some satisfying moments for sure. So in the end, I really just did not like hinder my enjoyment whatsoever. So I absolutely recommend this, and I'm so happy. So I read that, then I didn't know what to read next, because, like, I definitely feel like I'm not fully in an audiobook mood, so I was looking at my ebooks, and I was just like, there are multiple books. I was like, should I read another office romance? I think I mentioned I really want to read business casual, but I was thinking that, like, since I was indecisive and I have multiple options, I decided that I'm going to save this for the dedicated office romance vlog, so yes, I'm doing that. You can look forward to that at some point soon. I'm going to start that, and so I'm going to save it for that and read it then. And then I still have a lot of options, but I ended up starting I Think I Might Need You by Christina C. Jones. Yes, this is the sequel, like, companion to I Think I Might Love You, and I'm excited. So I don't think it's gonna be, for me, as good as the first book, because this book has the accidental pregnancy trope. That's not a spoiler, it's literally there in, like, the first 10 pages. So I feel like it's not in the synopsis, but I feel like it should be, because, like, I didn't know, and I don't hate the trope, but I do know that a lot of people do hate the trope, and a lot of people love the trope. And so I think that it's like a big thing that, like, is going to influence the whole story. So if you don't like that, it's probably, there's, like, I think it's not going to be for you at all. But if you do love the trope, then you should definitely check it out. So since I'm in between, I think that, like, especially considering how much I loved I Think I Might Love You, I don't think it's gonna be on the same level, but, like, I don't care. Like, I really don't mind, like, I read two absolutely incredible books, and I don't mind if this one is gonna be just, like, good instead of, like, amazing. So I still think it's gonna be fun. Maybe just, like, not as wonderful, but, like, I still think it's gonna be a fun time. So I'm gonna read that. It's also short, so I do want to read at least one novel soon. Because, like, I am trying to not just read a lot of books, but I want to read a lot of pages as well, because that is, like, for the competition and Blackathon, and, like, I don't want to stress about it, and I just want to have fun, yes, but at the same time, if I can, I would love to read as many pages as possible, so I have the rest of today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 28th. Then actually the last update for now is that I also kind of want to start, I think, no. Act Like You Mean It by Shea Sanders. So it is another book by Shea Sanders that I've had on my TBR for a while. And this one is a novella. I think it's like 173 pages. And it's like an actor romance or something like that. It's like set around like Hollywood. And I definitely learned quite recently that I love books about celebrities. And so I think I should read that as well. So again, not adding a lot of pages, but again, like, I do just want to have fun, and I'm having so much fun, and, like, I think that short books are a great choice right now. It is finally time for some updates. So I once again did not film yesterday and after I talked to you, because, like, I just have been going through it. I've been super stressed and anxious and overwhelmed, and it's like I was feeling better and I was reading amazing books and I wanted to share it with you, but then, like, the feelings hit me again, and yesterday I wanted to film, but then, like, I literally did not have a single drop of energy left, and so I decided to just, read and not film about it. So I finished some things that I'm excited to tell you about. So we're gonna do that now. It's fine, shit happens. So let's start with I Think I Might Need You, I think is the name. I unfortunately did not really enjoy this in the end. It has the accidental pregnancy trope, and it's also a second chance romance, so that is something that I think I forgot to mention, and something that I love as a trope. but I just felt like in here, the way that they grew close together did not really work for me, and I just didn't really feel the chemistry between them, and I just did not really like get as excited in this book, especially, like considering, like, I don't want to compare it to the first book too much, because, like, they're different books and entirely different stories, but, like, I was obviously kind of hoping to love it as much as the first. I just was not really convinced about the romance. I feel like the accidental pregnancy did not really work for me in here, because, again, like, I felt like that was, like, a big thing that was like a big part of the story. And again, while I don't hate the trope, it's not something that like I enjoy particularly either, and so this story was just not for me. But it's okay, I'm still absolutely gonna read the last book, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna like that one more. Probably not as the first book, but again, like, I'm just super happy that I loved the first book to the extent that I did. And it's fine. If the third book, is not like as good, it's fine. I just want to enjoy it and like, yeah. After that, I finished Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins, and I really enjoyed this one. So it didn't end up being like a 5-star for me. I gave it 4 stars in the end because I felt like around the 70% mark or so, it was just the plot kind of shifted, and I felt like the pacing was kind of slow and a lot of things were happening outside of the romance, which isn't just something that I personally enjoy. But besides that, I loved it. I had so much fun with it. And seriously, just Beverly Jenkins has this really special kind of magic in her romances that is just so beautiful. And I need to read even more of her backlist books. A lot of the covers are so beautiful that I kind of want to get them physically, but there's like so many editions and I'm not sure, like which kind of covers I can get. It's all a lot. But either way, I do absolutely want to read more of them soon. And I generally haven't been reading that much historical romance lately. It's just like a genre I love so much, but I always like read multiple in like 2 weeks and then I forget about it for a while again. Like, I just want it to be like a stable part of my reading, but yeah. So speaking of, actually, please let me know if you have recommendations of historical romances written by Black authors, because I know that Beverly Jenkins is by far like the most well-known popular Black author who writes historical romance. And then I know that Alyssa Cole has multiple historical romances, but she doesn't really write them anymore, or like she has a lot of other genres. And then I know there is a book called The Duke, the Lady, and a Baby, and I forgot the author's name, but that is one that I really want to check out as well. So yeah, please let me know. I forgot what I was saying at this point, but long story short, I really enjoyed Wild Rain, and I'm really excited that I read that, and I need to check if there's going to be another book in this series and when that's coming out, because like Wild Rain came out last year and there could be another one this year, if like it's, sometimes it's like each year or even shorter than that. So yes. Also, if I'm kind of slow in my talking, I feel like I was excited to do this update, but I just honestly, I'm just so exhausted and stressed, and I'm literally moving next weekend, and like it's all a lot. I don't want to even like, I don't want to stop the video here. I still have one more update, but like I want to read at least one other book. But just there are so many books that I'm excited to read, but I need to check out how long the video is. So anyways, I also finished, you're gonna be shocked, I finished Sweet Hand. I read a physical book and I'm super happy because, like, did I say it is March now? So yesterday, I was kind of sad because, again, I wasn't just not having any energy, and I was planning on reading a shit ton this weekend and I felt like I didn't read enough, and so yesterday I just really wanted to finish this and I managed, and I'm super happy, and I also really enjoyed this and I had so much fun with it. It is just such a fun, amazing, sweet, and steamy rivals to lovers romance. And, you know, like the banter was really fun, and like all the little jokes that they eventually like had together, the chemistry and everything, I really enjoyed it. And there was a cat, and I just really enjoyed their dynamic, and I really enjoyed like the way that it was kind of set around the wedding, you know? There were some like little pieces of friendships in here, which I really enjoyed as well. And yeah, I need to check what the sequel, like who the sequel is about. Because I feel like we must have met them in here, but I don't know. Like I need to check the names. I don't remember. So I don't think I'm gonna read that because I have the arc. I'm super excited. So I don't think I'm gonna read that in this vlog because you're gonna see a vlog. Wait, I put that up already, right? I did a reading vlog reading arcs of books that like to get my, you know, NetGalley score up, and while I don't have the sequel to this on NetGalley, I want to feature that in part 2 of the vlog that I just posted, because in that vlog as well, I didn't end up reading just NetGalley arcs. I ended up reading some arcs that like either the author sent me, or I had it just some other way. And so I think I'm gonna do that with the sequel to this. So yeah, I feel like I didn't really say that much about this book. I just like my brain is not functioning anymore. So I think that like after that, I didn't actually start anything else. So it would be logical to end the vlog here, but I don't want to. So I think I'm just gonna chill for a bit and like watch YouTube and stuff, and then I'm gonna figure out what I feel like reading next. I honestly, I don't think I'm gonna mention anything now, because like while I do have options, I just want to mood read and see what I run into. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing. And I'll talk to you soon when I hopefully have more energy. And yeah.
I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Like we can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. But you and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. But you and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love.
So it's finally time for an update, and I think this is gonna be like the update before the last update, because I put in the footage that I have into like my editing software, and it's definitely really long. But I started 2 books that I want to finish, and then I'm gonna end the vlog. So I started Drag Me Up by Virtues. The time has come, and I'm so excited, and I'm already enjoying it, even though like I only read a tiny bit. But like it's an amazing sign when you enjoy a book, you know, almost right away. So we love to see that. So I don't think I'm gonna like describe the book that much, because I don't fully know what's gonna happen yet, because again, like I'm only on page 28 and so I don't fully know how it's gonna continue. But either way, it is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and they just met and had their first interaction, and they already have chemistry. Like I already feel, you know, the tension in the air, and I just like, I know the romance is gonna be so good. So I still don't fully know if this is contemporary or paranormal, and I think that like it might be kind of contemporary, but obviously with like some kind of vibes that feel almost supernatural. So I think it might be like the same kind of genre that Katie Robert has for like the Wicked Villain series and the Dark Olympus series, which is that, you know, like it follows like gods and stuff, but it's kind of in our world, but it's not like normal our world stuff. And so I think like that is, I need to look it up, but I also just need to keep reading to see for myself. So I'm gonna tell you more about it after reading it. There's a chance I'm just gonna read the whole book and then update you afterwards, because again, I don't want this vlog to be too long, and I think I really want to just like sit down, have a nice chill reading day and read this and then, update you. Also, I'm sorry about the fingerprints on the cover because it is a beautiful matte cover, which means it's gonna get the fingerprints on it, which, like, why do matte covers do that? Like, yes, so that is the first update. And then I started another book that I need to look up started and read over a half of the Hookup Dilemma by Constance Gillim or Gillim, not sure, but I have that on audio, and it's basically an adult contemporary romance, and I'm not loving it, but I'm enjoying it. So basically, we follow Rashida and Elliot. The two of them have a one-night stand right at the beginning of the book, and they, have a connection, they have chemistry, all of that. And then after that, they find out that they're kind of like on the opposite sides of this conflict around the town that they live in. Because Elliot, his dad, owns this company of, like, I forgot the name of it, but like buildings, like real estate, property shit, like all that kind of thing. And Rashida, her family and her have lived in this place for a long time and have a really strong connection, like, to the community and the places, and like all of those things are super important to them. And so Elliot wants to change the whole thing, and Rashida wants it to stay the same. So it is like, so it does talk a lot about like gentrification and those kinds of things, and that is kind of like the plot of that. And this conflict is, honestly, I feel like, the biggest part of the book, and I think that is why I'm not fully enjoying it, because while I really like the two main characters and I do feel the chemistry between them, all of that, I feel like this conflict is in the way so much and a part of the plot a lot, and that just, I don't know, to me it doesn't fully work in a romance. So I don't know, I just don't love the fact that like the conflict is like this, because it just, like, there's like some miscommunication, and Elliot, like, the kind of tropes that like Elliot makes some decisions or knows something is gonna happen that Rashida is not gonna like, and those kinds of things that, I just, to me, it feels like such, I hate those little types of like betrayal and secrets and like those kinds of things. I just don't like to see them in romance, and so those things are not working for me. But like, if I ignore that, I do like the romance, and so I think those are like the last books that I'm gonna read and finish. So I just realized that I completely forgot to say that I got my hair done yesterday, and I don't know if you can see it or if you see that much of a difference, but I love it. I actually started getting a new color, like, I don't know if it was the last time for the first time. I think it might have been. I don't know. Like, I've made changes multiple times, but before, for a long time, I kept getting the same color, but I basically kind of got frustrated because that color came off so much as red on camera. And it wasn't red at all. Like, there was like a drop of red, but mostly was pink and purple and those kinds of shades. And so I just got kind of frustrated with that. And then another reason was that, like, it got really light and I was just kind of like in the mood for something darker. And so this is actually dark purple, but it looks, in a lot of like types of lighting, it just looks like black or dark brown, which I am not mad at, to be honest, because like, while I love having like a not normal color, um I still feel like, the like neutral looking color has its place. And I think, I don't know, I really like it. And the reason why I also wanted to get this is because I'm going to be moving and I don't know how soon I'm going to be able to get my hair done, because, like, I am not going to know any of the places. It's probably going to be expensive. So this color, I feel like, it's way less noticeable when my hair starts growing out. So the roots look fine pretty much the whole time, so we love to see that. So I'm gonna stop talking about my hair now, but just wanted to update you really quickly, and I am really excited. I feel like every time I get my hair done, it just feels really good, and it's like, a tiny feeling of like a fresh start, and especially because I'm literally moving next week, I feel like it just intensifies that fresh start feeling. Hey everyone, so I'm in the car and it is time to finally wrap up this vlog, give you updates on the last 2 books, and I'm gonna make it quick because the video is really long and I need to get home. Yeah, first of all, I just got my nails done. Because of the lighting, it looks absolutely inaccurate, I feel like. But it's like a dark baby pink, I'd call it. It is just like a light pink, but not like super light, and I love it. The one I had before was like really bright pink, like Barbie pink, and I loved that for a while, but it was getting a little too intense. But anyways, let's talk about the books. This is also my last update in the car for a long time, so that is kind of sad, but you know, we're gonna be in a car again at some point. So, first of all, I finished the Hookup Dilemma, and I don't really have that much to add about that book. I honestly feel like I said everything kind of, and it didn't really change, so I liked it, but I didn't really fully love it. It was just like there were some things that were underdeveloped for me, like the romance. I liked part of it and I liked the main characters. I could see why they should be together and like I rooted for them. But I didn't feel like a super strong development in the romance because it was again focused on a lot of the things around it, and like all the conflict and stuff didn't work for me, but it was still like a fun, quick book and I still read it really quickly. So that is that. And then I took the book with me, even though I read it literally yesterday at home, just so I could show you in this update. So I finished Drag Me Up, and I loved this one. Like, it was one of the first physical books that I read in a little while. And actually I read Sweet Hand in this video, but at this point that was like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I don't know, I'm lost in time. But anyways, I loved this. Like, if you want a Hades and Persephone retelling that is like a black love romance that is queer, Persephone is also trans, and just like it's really queer, and you know, R.M. Virtues basically only writes queer books with people of color as the main characters. So if that is something that you're looking for, absolutely check it out. So it is contemporary. It's not really like there are no paranormal elements, but it doesn't feel like a normal contemporary. It's exactly the same genre, I feel like, that Neon Gods by Katie Robert is, like all those books. So if that is something that you like, absolutely check it out. And I just loved the main characters. It was really sweet. There's no third act breakup, and it's steamy and super fun and just like really soft, which surprised me because I expected it to be super intense, you know, or like more intense than it was, but it was just like so sweet, and the relationship was really healthy. And one more thing that I want to say about it, I am also holding the book a little bit low because there are some people, but I loved that it's kind of like it all happens quite quickly. Like, they have an instant connection, but it doesn't feel to me like insta love at all. I was thinking about it and I was like, it feels like fast burn. You know, we have slow burn, and this feels like fast burn, and I don't think like anyone uses that term, but I had that thought and I felt like that was really accurate in here. Like, like they get close quite quickly and all of that, but it all felt natural and I rooted for them and I just loved it. Absolutely recommend it, and I can't wait for the next book. So there is a second book out in the series, and I don't remember who the main characters are, but the third one is, I think, Athena and Dionysus. Is that how you say his name? I'm not sure. Yeah, but either way, there's a second book, and there's a third book coming out, and I don't know when this vlog is coming out, so it might be out already. So I'm absolutely gonna get those. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get both of them physically. I'll have a look at like the prices and whatever, but when I can, I'm definitely gonna read them really soon. And so that is all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I had so much fun making it. It took me a lot longer than I expected. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I'm gonna get home and you're gonna see me soon in a different video. So if you made it this far in the video, leave a card emoji down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!